Welcome to the Geo Show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. We're out here at Bose West on location. Brandon Aksamit is joining me. And we got some special guests here as well. I'll introduce my special guest in just a second. I got to talk social media quick. Check us out at Columbus NE News on Twitter and Columbus News Team on Facebook for all the latest local sports, or at NCN Sports on Twitter as well for everything there. But our guest is Coach John Brezenski, head coach at Scotus for the boys. And we're talking a little bit of soccer today. And, Coach, I got to ask you, coming into the season, you guys are two-time defending state champs right now. Leading up to this weekend, and some people might see this after this weekend, but leading up to this weekend, do you feel a lot of pressure going into this weekend trying to achieve and attain that third championship?
Probably not this weekend, no. I mean, I usually use the early part of the season as just kind of an assessment tool, really. Like last year, opening weekend, Columbus High beat us, and then the next weekend we went 0-2 at Creighton Prep. So, the early season, yeah, I mean, we're probably a little bit more experienced than we have been last year, in the last 2 years, obviously. But no, it's not like I tell the kids, I don't really feel like we have a lot of pressure on us necessarily, because we don't really, you don't win championships or state championships in the first weekend of the season. So, we play Friday night. It's just kind of a where are we at type game, and then Saturday, obviously, either Crete or Columbus High. So that'd be even a good test there too. So. We just kind of use it early just to kind of see where we're at. We're going to be really rusty. I just have a feeling we'll be rusty, coming off, state basketball and that kind of stuff. But the first couple weeks have gone really good. I'm excited where we're at early in the season, so I'm eager to see what we look like Friday.
Well, and you mentioned experience. Now, you lost guys like Noah Shocker, who were good scorers and stuff, but you got guys like Alec Fulton. The list goes on of returning starters you have. What's it like working with a group like that coming back this year? It's
unique, actually, because in years past, we haven't been so experienced returning. We usually graduate 4, 6, some years 10 seniors. So last year we graduated 2, so it's kind of been a little bit of an adjustment because it's not like we have to put anything new in. The trick has been, okay, what can we do just maybe a little bit differently to tweak some things, maybe play a little bit quicker. That's kind of been the focus over the last couple weeks, and not having 4 starters there for state basketball has actually been really good because some guys that we expect to be really big contributors this year have gotten touches with our first group. So we're really just trying to focus on our speed of play right now and see if we can play maybe a little bit quicker than we did last year.
Yeah. And now that those few losses you had to start the season last year was because of a formational sort of change where you change your formation, what I heard, and that's kind of what led you to that success, that run you made. I don't know if you want to divulge that now, but are you thinking of sticking with the same formation as last year, or are you switching some tactics up?
Yeah, tactical stuff will be a little bit different, but our base pretty much looks the same. In 2014, we ran something totally different than what we ran last year. So, we'll probably, because we're comfortable with what we do, we'll probably stay with what we are right now, but you never know. We may switch it at some point during the season. It's just kind of the way it works. Didn't really have we kind of toyed with that idea last year, and we didn't want to do it early because of what we ran the year previously. But then, you go 3-3 in the first weekend, you pretty much have to make a change, and so we did.
And Shocker, we talked about, he's one of the guys you lose, but really you're bringing back 8 or 9 guys who are starting. I mean, guys like Dodson, Boss, Pelster, Foltz. Who are some young guys that maybe are going to fill those 1 or 2 spots in this starting lineup, or some guys you expect to see enter into this starting 11?
Well, yeah, a guy like Anthony Cush, he kind of came in for Noah last year. A guy like Mason Brandenburg will most likely, take Joe's spot in the outside. And those guys were big role players for us last year. Brady Miller's had a great camp so far. Duncan Pachaza, Will Sonnerman. I'm just trying to name off some juniors. A couple sophomores, Carson Hodovy, Grant Benhouse. We've got a lot of guys, and even some freshmen have stuck out. I wouldn't be surprised if a freshman doesn't crack the lineup at some point. Maybe not start, but they're going to play. So we got 34 guys, and really our incoming guys that are freshmen are actually pretty talented, and our guys have gotten a lot better from last year. So we expect a lot of them just to to jump in. It's just a trial by fire type deal.
Well, you guys got some good offensive scorers returning, but is there anybody that's really stuck out to you offensively that you think is going to have a big impact on this year that maybe you weren't thinking about earlier on?
Oh, I think a guy like Anthony Cush is going to be a guy that's going to have to score for us. He plays an important spot in our attack. But also some returning players, like Cole Harrington. Cole Harrington was second on the team in assists last year, but we need him to score. Caleb Ostick, we need him to score. Cole had the game-winning assist in the state final. Caleb Ostick hits a 30-yard bomb in the state semifinals to put us up 1-0. So those guys are capable of doing those things. Their roles in the years past probably didn't dictate them to do it, but this year they're gonna have to.
And just thinking of state and moving forward this year, how much motivated are these group of guys? They have 2 championships already, and I mean, the old adage is you have to defend against complacency maybe, and I don't necessarily see this group of seniors as that type of group, but how do you keep them motivated and say, hey, we're going at this one more time, a chance to do something very, very special is get that three-peat?
Yeah, I mean, none of the guys that are graduating this year are going to go play on in college. So this is kind of their last hurrah, and I think that in itself is a motivation for them. And obviously, you get the taste of winning some state championships. We've been really fortunate. We're, state football championship. Our state basketball team's been in the state semifinals 3 years in a row. So these guys have played on all the big stages in every major sport that we have at school. So, they're motivated. It's not like, hey, let's dangle a carrot out in front of them type thing. We don't have to do that with this group. They're highly motivated. They're really focused. They're confident group, but they're not arrogant. They're not arrogant and they're not cocky. They're just extremely businesslike in what they do, and I think that's been a huge asset for us the last couple of years.
Well, we talk about coming into this weekend, and you guys are playing Lakeview here to start things off. And they didn't have the strongest season last year, but you never know what happens in the off season. So you talked a little bit of rust on the wheels as well coming into this weekend. Is it easy to get up for these rivalry games going into this?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the unique things about the tournament, I guess. We got some city teams in here, and so there's some familiarity there with Lakeview kids and with all the other sports, and obviously with Columbus High. But Crete's, this is their 4th year in the tournament. They're going to be really good this year too. But yeah, it doesn't take a lot for the kids really to get up for a lot of the games anyway. They want to beat the teams that are playing. Whoever's in front of us, we want to beat them. So it doesn't matter if it's Lakeview, Crete, or Columbus High. We want to just play the best that we can play. We have respect for every opponent that we play, but we just want to play the best that we can play and just worry about us.
Going to ask you to put your team on the spot. You have your 3 groups, your defenders, your midfielders, and your attacking players. Right now, who do you think is your strongest group? I know you said you might be a little bit rusty, but if you had to pick one, what's your strongest asset?
That's tough, I guess, because they're going to get mad at me if I pick one and not the other group, but there's just that competitive. But our strength in the last couple of years has been our defense, and I'll put my hat on our defense anytime. With Evan back there, our backline players Jackson, Bailey Pelster, Marcus, and Mason, and we got to develop some other defenders there too. But those guys have been in some big moments, and they only allowed 1 goal last year in the state tournament, and we could have set a school record for fewest goals allowed if we would have kept them in all the games last year too. But, so that group's really strong. But we're really, our midfielder is key too. So, but I'd say defense is. I'm a defender too by nature, so I'm biased.
Well, Coach Brezenski, I appreciate you coming out here and joining us. It's great to have you. If you guys want to follow Scotus Soccer, it's at Scotus Soccer on Twitter. The girls are at SCC Girls Soccer. You can check them out as well. But Coach Brezenski, best of luck going into this weekend, and thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me out here. This is a great idea.
Got to do it. We will be back in just a little bit with Coach John Arlt. We will see you guys after the break.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference. In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the marketing director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Ever wonder where those mysterious spots and stains come from? Call your local Heaven's Best carpet and upholstery cleaning technician. You can enjoy life, and we'll clean it up.
Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, the cleanest carpet you'll ever see.
Heaven's Best. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Call George at 402-564-9060 or on the web at columbusne.heavensbest.com.
All right, guys, welcome back to the GO Show here on News Channel, the Nebraska Columbus News Team. We are out here at Bose West in Columbus. Brandon Aksamit is joining me, and now Coach John Arlt, head coach for the boys. Appreciate you coming out and sitting with us for a little bit.
No problem. Appreciate it.
Hey, so I guess going into this year, you guys are starting off with the Columbus tournament, and one of the guys you get to go against or coach against is Michael Ziola. So before we get into too much team stuff, what's it like getting to coach against someone you used to work with?
Well, it'll be real interesting. He's my nephew and all, and I know he will just improve that team. They're good anyway. Creed is pretty solid anyway. He is just going to help them so much with his ability, his knowledge of the game, and just what he's going to have those boys do. So we're going to have our hands full first game out of the chute. Now, we haven't talked too much texting back and forth yet, but we'll have to get that started here.
Absolutely. Well, and looking at preseason here, how do you think the team's coming up so far? How do you think you guys are looking going into this tournament? Is it rusty or?
Well, I think, our boys played indoor league in Grand Island. A bunch of them did and had a lot of success. They went 7-0.
Oh, wow.
So from that standpoint, confidence-wise, we're in good shape. So they've played a little bit. We got 6 or 7 returners, so we should be, from the experience standpoint, I think we're in good shape. But, first tournament of the year, it'll be tough. Crete, real tough, and if we'd happen to get by them, it gets really tough.
Yeah.
So.
And you're talking about a lot of experience coming back. You were 12-7 last year, 6 of those losses to ranked opponents. So who are some of those key guys that are returning for this Discoverers squad you're expecting some big things from?
Well, we have Luis Arcos, Tyler Strong on our back line, along with Caleb Esch. So we have 3 returners on the back line, which is really good. And then our whole midfield is back. So from our midfield through our back line should be really solid. I expect major things from those guys. We're a good ball possession team, and the experience from last year is just going to be tremendous for us.
And speaking of last year, the Scotus invite, maybe not to you, but to a lot of people, you shocked the soccer community a little bit by taking down the Shamrocks, who went on to win state and actually be the top team in the all-class in the spring. So you look back at that contest, you're obviously gunning for the same thing should you make it to the finals if you beat Crete and face Scotus. How does that play into as you approach this opening weekend?
Well, like you said, if we're fortunate enough to get by Crete and we get Scotus, the one thing that it brings to us is we end up playing one of the top teams in the state regardless of class. So it lets us really measure ourselves right away. Where are we at? We're not intimidated by Scotus. We know that they're a solid team. They are going to put forth their best effort because it's us. Columbus and Scotus, it'll be a great matchup if it happens. We know from they have 8 or 9 returners. Their whole back line is back. Their starting goalkeeper is back. We would have to play a supreme match to get by them.
Well, I asked you about this beforehand. Last year, you had your daughter Maggie help train out with the team, and she is in better shape than anyone in this room by far, and probably most of this team as well. But you talked about continuing to implement that plan this year. But last year, what was that like getting to work with kind of a family member and seeing her help out your team and really help you guys go on to some nice success?
Yeah, she brought in some things that I just hadn't thought of. She's more into the fitness and weights, and she really incorporated that. And some of the training methods that we did the first 2 weeks of practice, the guys weren't used to. And my feeling was if they didn't like it, it's a good thing, and they really didn't like it. But when the season was over, it really paid off. You could tell our guys were a lot stronger, and we continued it through the season. It's the first time we had done that. And we're going to do that this year too. Two mornings a week, we'll be in there hitting the weights and doing a program that she developed.
Very cool.
And looking at this schedule, obviously hasn't even started yet. You have the Scotus invite, and that's game 1 and 2. But when you look at this schedule, what are the games that you kind of circle on the schedule as you look ahead, and some of the games that you say, hey, that's going to be a big game, or this could play a big part in our postseason push?
Well, one of the things I tell the guys every year is we seem to drop a game against an opponent maybe we shouldn't. So obviously we look at every game as a tough game, but if you're going to highlight a few, Norfolk obviously is a big game. It's always a physical game. Kearney, who we have not beaten since I've been here. I don't think we beat them in 10 years. Kearney will be tough. Lincoln Southwest, 2 years ago they won state. Last year they only lost 2 games. Lexington is tough. So, I mean, everywhere up and down our schedule is tough, but it does prepare us for the end of the season. If we're fortunate enough to play Scotus, you add that to the mix. Then we're in the same district as Scotus and Schuyler. That's a tough district. So if we're fortunate enough to get to the sub-state and the state tournament, I can't imagine many more teams being as prepared as we should be.
I asked Coach Brezenski a little bit about his offensive side of the ball and maybe some players that he liked. Looking at you guys defensively, and I know just like Scotus, Columbus is always a good defensive team. Is there anybody that's kind of stood out or surprised you as you guys gone through practice here?
Well, we've tried to put in 2 new guys at the defensive line. Luis Velasquez, who is new this year. I mean, he's a senior, but he hasn't played varsity yet, so that's, you worry a little bit about that. And then Juan Lopez, who started last year at midfield, we've tried him out at right back also. And he looks pretty confident back there. So from the defensive standpoint, we should be pretty solid. Luis Arcos this will be his 3rd year back there, so that's really good. Tyler Strong, it'll be his 2nd year back there, and Caleb Esch, his 2nd year back there. So we're really good. Where we're inexperienced totally is our goalkeeper. So I expect him to have a good season, but he's brand new. So.
Yeah. And you said you're expecting obviously good things from the defensive back line. You're solid in midfield. Who's going to be that guy, that focal point on the offensive end that you're going to need to step up to get that ball in the back of the net and win you some games?
Well, we've got 3 guys that we're really looking at right now. Luis Tovar's a sophomore. He played some mid for us. He's really fast. Luis Ruiz, probably the fastest guy we got on our team. And then we have a freshman, Jason Marino, who has really shown some things in practice. So he'll probably get to play some this first weekend. And he's one of the bigger kids we have on our team, and for a freshman, that's unusual. So, I don't want to put too much on a freshman to begin with, but those 3 guys, we're hoping that we can score a little more than what we've done in the past.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you, we've had some beautiful weather here lately. As a soccer coach in a sport that is outside for most of the part, outside of some indoor, but how exciting is it to be able to get outside and kick the ball around a little bit with this nice weather?
Oh, it's been incredible. In fact, I've told our freshmen and new players, I said, you guys are spoiled. Yeah. Because if we're outside at this time, we got hats and gloves and everything else on. So to be practicing like this, a lot of them are in shorts and T-shirt, so they're ready to go. They get a little more conditioning because the heat's up. That's great. The one part that I do worry about is when the weather does change. Yeah. We're not ready for it. Yeah. It's going to be colder than what we're used to this weekend. Mm-hmm. So, but it's been great to be outside.
Absolutely, Coach. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you for coming out and chatting with us a little bit.
I appreciate you taking the time for us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Discoverers, if you want to follow them on Twitter, it's @DiscoverWay. They like to post updates and stuff, but also follow us, and we'll get you the latest on Columbus soccer as they progress through the season. As the opening weekend, we live broadcast that as well. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. Brandon's with me. We will be right back after the break. A little more soccer action here on the GO Show. I'm Gray Nine, and we'll see you in a bit.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest distillers in northeast Nebraska. with 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference. In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training, caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex, and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it, and Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Ever wonder where those mysterious spots and stains come from? Call your local Heaven's Best carpet and upholstery cleaning technician. You can enjoy life, and we'll clean it up.
Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, the cleanest carpet you'll ever see.
Heaven's Best. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Call George at 402-564-9060 or on the web at columbusne.heavensbest.com.
Welcome back to the GO Show here on News Channel Nebraska. We're out here at Bose West. Brandon's joined me. Brandon, I know we're pretty formative with the first two and pretty regulated in how we're doing it because we're doing interviews, but how awesome is it to be out here right now?
It's great. I mean, anyone who's watched our live broadcast knows how much we love Bose West.
Yeah.
And I'm very hungry right now, and I know there's burgers and wings waiting for me, so
yeah.
Not that I want to get off this show, but I'm excited to also have some delicious food.
We do talk about it every broadcast, it seems like. Talking to Coach Brezenski, I want to talk a little bit of Lakeview here. Before we get in there, I love talking to Brezenski and Arlt, two very good guys. I'm very excited for the Scotus season, and he seems very confident. Was there anything you took away from that interview that maybe just boosted your confidence even more, I guess?
I mean, well, just talking to both coaches, they're excited, which makes you excited hearing from them. It's spring sports, and sometimes soccer doesn't get the publicity it maybe deserves it. Well, that's until now, though, because we are bringing that. And, anytime you have a state champ, SCOTUS, a team from Columbus, speaking about the Shamrocks, they got the all-class between A or B. They were the number one team last year, and that's never been done before. And one of the things Coach Brezenski preached was, hey, we're one of the smaller schools in Class B. We're from Columbus, Nebraska, and we are ranked higher than Omaha teams, Lincoln teams. And that's exciting, the fact that they have a chance to not only win state again, but for the third time in a row, which is something that's unprecedented, and the fact that we'll be able to follow them. You can't not get excited about something like that. And I mean, same thing for the Discoverers. They're bringing back a lot of key players, and the rivalry. You were at school when the Shamrocks and Discoverers met in the state championship. So soccer pride is strong in Columbus, as you know, and with spring and the season just around the corner, could not be more exciting.
I was just going to say, that's one of my favorite memories, too. And even though Columbus lost, Scotus ended up winning that game, taking home a state championship, and kudos to them. I wasn't thinking that at the time as a CHS alum, but it was atmosphere and everything. It's so exciting to see those two teams play. Now, if Lakeview makes it on, which would be a big upset, but man, that would be a heck of a game in the first round if Lakeview was able to take down Scotus. And to Crete as well was Ziola, a former CHS alum, coaching them up. And he's not the head coach, but he's helping them out. And some good soccer's going to be played, and I'm very excited for this weekend. Lakeview, we talked to some of the coaches a little bit. Lakeview boys, Coach Zach Leasack wasn't able to get out here today, so we'll hopefully be able to catch up with him later at a different time. But the boys got a tough task ahead of them. They're coming off a tough year, and it'll be interesting to see if they are able to improve. But a big schedule ahead of them. The girls for Lakeview are going to be all right, and we'll catch up with the girls' coaches hopefully here in a couple weeks. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit of this schedule. So, very exciting announcement. I know you're even more excited because you are an absolutely huge soccer fan. I love soccer as well, but you follow it even heavier than I do. I guess let's talk. We're doing some live coverage of soccer this year, and I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule we got coming up.
Hey, let's do it. We've been talking about the SCOTUS invite this whole show, so this is what you need to know. As for the games we're covering, we're keeping it fair between boys and girls, so it's Columbus versus Crete. That's on Friday. That's the boys matchup at 3 o'clock. Then we're going girls, Lakeview, and SCOTUS, so we're going to get to see all four teams between those two contests. Then, of course, Saturday are the two championship games. It's always been at 10 a.m. for both games, but Gary Pitts at the Shamrocks AD was kind enough to, for us, delay the game. So we have a 10 a.m. championship for the girls, and then the boys game to follow at noon. Whoever makes those contests will be broadcasting those live, of course, and that's very exciting. Of course, that's the first weekend. Looking forward, we're doing 2 games a week. We're going to have Lakeview, we're going to have Columbus, we're going to get Schuyler in here, another area team, as well as Lutheran High Northeast coming down from Norfolk. So a lot of good soccer on the agenda. We have a good 2 months before state comes. GNAC will be hosted, so of course, I'll be putting out an article later on our website that'll have exactly the entire schedule, but I'm excited, you're excited, and let the games begin.
It's going to be good. And I got to ask you, too, you were up at state basketball these last 2 weekends. We haven't really got a chance to talk about it on the show since you had that experience. I hung out in Columbus, covered news and stuff, but you got to do the show. You were on live, anchoring that sportscast. What was that? Was that experience pretty fun down there? It was kind of that was an intense deal, and you and Eric were a lot of fun to watch. What was that experience like?
Well, first off, I appreciate it, and have to give kudos to, what we pulled off at News Channel Nebraska between myself and Eric, but we had 6 different reporters getting different games all throughout the area. So what we coordinated was an amazing feat, and something I'm personally proud of that our whole team did. And, people say, small town Columbus, small town Norfolk, but we were right up on the mezzanine of Pinnacle Bank Arena going live, where the reporters from KETV in Omaha, the reporters from 1011 in Lincoln are, and they were doing their live shots next to our set, and I couldn't help but notice them, looking over at us to see what News Channel Nebraska is doing. And I even talked to some of them afterwards, and they said, this is a cool thing. There's been no live state basketball show done before. This is unprecedented, and they even gave some kudos and thought it was an amazing thing. So the only thing I could take away from it was great. I had a blast. Maybe next year you could come down, being the sports fan you are too. But it was a great time, and it was a lot of fun. So.
No, it's going to be an absolute blast. If you by chance got to see it at NCN Sports, I mentioned that earlier. That is the Twitter page. Everything from News Channel Nebraska, every single one of our stations, we're putting all of our sports on there. But we're also putting it on at Columbus NE News, and that's the Columbus News Team Twitter. So follow that, and you will get all the updates for soccer. That's where you're live posting updates for all the games we're going to. So if you don't have a chance to catch them, get on that Twitter, get it checked out, and we will get you latest on the updates for those. Columbus News Team Facebook as well. Check that out. You got to check all of this out. Social media, everything. It's all good, but that's how you're going to stay up to date on the latest. Or just go straight to columbusnewsteam.com. I am Grant Otten, and for Brandon Aksamit, this is the Geo Show here on News Channel Nebraska. Thank you for joining us here out at Bose West, where we are going to go smash some burgers and wings because the food here is delicious, and I can't wait any longer. So, Brandon, thanks for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
We will see you guys next time on the next episode of the Geo Show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.